Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. I'm really thrilled you're joining me today because we're going to unravel what's honestly a true detective story in the world of off-grid electrical systems. Imagine this, right? You've meticulously planned your solar or your van build. You've invested heavily in all these top-tier components, yet inexplicably, your system just crashes when you need it most. And you know, most of us immediately blame the big-ticket items. We think, oh, my system is failing because of a faulty battery or maybe a malfunctioning inverter. But today, we're going to look at the real evidence. We're going to uncover how the actual culprit, the true bottleneck, is completely hidden in plain sight.
I mean, it's incredibly frustrating, isn't it? You check your monitors, your battery reads totally full. You literally just unboxed and installed a brand new inverter. But the absolute second you turn on a heavy appliance, the whole system just gives up. It just shuts down. Okay, let's dive into this. A lot of DIYers and off-grid enthusiasts experience this exact nightmare. And what do? They end up throwing hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars at the problem. They buy new batteries, bigger inverters. But upgrading those components isn't actually solving the real mystery. They're just treating the symptoms and entirely missing the root cause that sits literally right in between those expensive pieces of gear.
And, well, here's the massive plot twist of our investigation. We naturally think of wires as completely passive, right? Just empty highways that let electricity travel freely from point A to point B. But in any DC system, voltage doesn't just travel, it is consumed. There's an old engineering adage that hits the nail on the head. When current flows through a cable, the cable itself becomes a load. So that innocent-looking passive wire, that's actually our hidden villain. It's actively consuming your power before it ever even reaches your inverter.
So that brings us to Section 1, the physics of voltage drop. To truly understand how this wire is secretly stealing your power, we kind of have to look at the underlying science. It all comes down to this concept of the hidden resistor. See, an undersized cable is literally acting as a resistor right in series with your load. In physics, the formula for voltage drop is pretty straightforward. The voltage you lose in the cable equals the current flowing through it multiplied by the conductor's resistance. And resistance, well, it isn't static. It scales up based on three major things: the length of your cable, and remember, it's the round-trip path that matters in DC systems, the cross-sectional area, so basically the thickness of the wire, and lastly, the quality of your connections. If your run is too long, if your wire is too thin, or if your crimps are just poor, you are essentially building a massive hidden resistor directly into your system.
So, you might be wondering, why is this uniquely a 12-volt problem? Let's compare it to your house for a second. In a standard household system, you have high voltage, and because of that high voltage, you only need low current to deliver a lot of power. But 12-volt systems, they are uniquely vulnerable. Because the system voltage is so incredibly low, delivering that exact same amount of power means the system has to push massively high current. High current from moderate loads is basically the defining reality of a 12-volt system, and that high current, it translates directly to immense wiring stress.
And that brings us to a really crucial point. Just one little math symbol, actually, squared, or I squared. I want to shift to a much more serious tone here for a moment, because the formula for power loss, which shows up as heat generation, is current squared multiplied by resistance. Because that current figure is squared, power loss and heat do not rise gently as your load increases. They grow exponentially. So when your 12-volt system pushes high current, the power losses accelerate super aggressively, and the heat rises much faster than anyone usually anticipates.
Let's move to Section 2, inside an undersized cable, and see exactly how this builds up. Let's zoom in a bit and look at the microscopic chain reaction that gets triggered the exact second a heavy appliance kicks on. It creates a terrifying, vicious cycle. So let's walk through it. Step 1, your load demands power. Say a microwave or a water pump starts up. Step 2, to supply that power at only 12 volts, the system pulls a massive surge of higher current. Step 3, that transient current hits the resistance of the undersized cable and it converts electrical energy into heat. Step 4, as the cable heats up, the resistance gets worse and the voltage drops drastically along the length of the wire. By the time it finally reaches the end of the cable, the inverter sees far less voltage than the battery is actually providing. And here is Step 5, the really fatal blow. To maintain its output power with that super low input voltage, the inverter reacts by pulling even more current. This spikes the stress all over again. It accelerates the heat, drops the voltage even further, and ultimately causes the inverter to completely shut down, or it triggers your battery management system to cut off. The inverter, just trying to compensate, actually causes its own failure. Wild, right?
All right, Section 3, real-world symptoms and safety.
Let's bring this physics lesson back out of the microscopic realm and into the real world. These are the classic field frustrations that people experience all the time. Inverters shutting down under heavy loads. Batteries that appear weak or depleted, even when your monitor swears they're fully charged. Cables that are noticeably warm or even hot to the touch. Random system resets or brownouts when surge loads hit. And this brilliantly illustrates the core misunderstanding in the off-grid community. These standard battery problems, they actually aren't battery problems at all. They're just symptoms. What you're seeing is the field behavior of a system absolutely choking on an undersized wiring bottleneck.
And I absolutely cannot overstate the gravity of this physical degradation. This isn't just some minor efficiency issue where you lose a little bit of battery life. When current is high and resistance is present, heat builds up remarkably fast. Repeated undervoltage events and that heat accumulation, it will literally physically degrade and damage the insulation on your cables over time. It weakens your connectors, and in extreme yet entirely preventable cases, it creates severe fire hazards. We really have to start viewing voltage drop as a measurable engineering fault, not just some casual design guideline.
Also, just a quick but super vital reminder about safety components here. A fuse is not there to magically improve your system's performance. It won't stabilize your voltage. It is simply there as the absolute last line of defense to prevent an uncontrolled failure and an electrical fire. Every single connection, every loose terminal, every poorly crimped lug in a low-voltage system is a potential resistance hotspot. They are all potential failure points that can amplify this entire bottleneck effect in an instant.
Which brings us to our final section, the final verdict.
It's time to wrap up our investigation and completely reframe how we look at 12-volt systems from now on. I really want to challenge your old assumptions right now. The next time you're out in the field or hanging out in your van and your inverter shuts down under a load, what are you going to do? Are you just going to look at the battery monitor or maybe assume the inverter is broken? I highly encourage you to grab a multimeter and check the voltage drop directly at the inverter terminals while it's under load. Compare what the inverter actually receives to what the battery is sending out. That voltage drop, that tells the real empirical story.
Because ultimately, you have to look at the path between them. In a 12-volt system, your wire is never just a simple, passive conductor. It is an active bottleneck dictating your entire system's fate. So before you go and spend another dollar upgrading a perfectly good battery, ask yourself, what secrets are hiding inside your wiring? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Make sure to check those terminals and hey, stay safe out there.